a cartel leader and hitman who was known for videotaping torture sessions and beheading scores, if not hundreds of enemies, has vanished from a federal prison in Florida where he was serving a sentence of 49 years. He was serving his sentence at the time of his disappearance. Edgar Valdez Villarreal, a Mexican-American cartel commander, had been mysteriously removed from the website of the Federal Bureau of Prisons as of November. Even though his scheduled release date is not until July 27, 2056, he's currently being recorded as not in BOP custody. Hello everyone, and welcome to another video. Today we'll be looking at the Sinaloa Cartel Hitman who disappeared from prison. Yeah, you heard it right. Valdez Villarreal, 49, is known in the criminal world by his underworld moniker La Barbie. He was the head of the Los Negros, an enforcement squad of the Beltran-Leyva cartel, which is one of the most ruthless criminal organizations in Mexico. At one point in his life, he held a position of the top lieutenant of the Sinaloa cartel, which was managed by the convicted drug dealer Joaquin El Chapo Guzman Loera. According to a report, Valdez Villarreal spent his childhood in Laredo, Texas, and he received the nickname Ken from a high school football coach. The coach thought that Valdez Villarreal's blue eyes and light complexion made him appear like a Ken doll. A classmate from United High School who spoke to Rolling Stone in 2011 said that the nickname Ken doll was given to the individual mostly because his hair was blonde and kinky like the dolls. When the instructor raised the stakes for Barbie, the game immediately became extremely popular. Valdez Villarreal, who enjoyed wearing designer garments and wearing expensive watches, evaded authorities for years even though they were offering bounties that added up to millions of dollars. Following the assassination of cartel commander Arturo Beltran-Leyva in December 2009, La Barbie engaged in a vicious conflict with the Beltran-Leyva cartel to seize control. According to Mexican news reports, while he was the leader of Los Negros, he took part in acts of torture, which he frequently recorded on video, and recruited informants among law enforcement officials and members of competing cartels. In August of 2010, during a particularly vicious phase of turf war between cartels in Cuernavaca, 4 decapitated bodies were discovered hanging from a bridge with a caution that anyone helping La Barbie would suffer a similar end. The bodies were found alongside a warning that anyone helping him would suffer that. In 2010, he was eventually taken into custody after a firefight with Mexican authorities that took place in a rural home to the north of Mexico City. At the time of his capture, he was the only American citizen who had ever achieved such a high position within one of Mexico's drug cartels. He had worked his way up through the ranks of the organization. According to the accounts, La Barbie fled the United States from Mexico in the 1990s after he was charged with dealing marijuana in the United States. Soon after, he established himself as one of the vicious underworld enforcers involved in the conflicts between drug traffickers that resulted in the deaths of hundreds of people in Mexico. El Chapo approached Valdez Villarreal during his time as an employee of the Sinaloa cartel and requested him to assist in bribing Mexican prison employees to obtain long johns for the son of the cartel leader. La Barbie betrayed the two men after they accepted the bribe, but then requested $500,000 rather than the original fee of $100,000. This resulted in the men being put through excruciating deaths. According to the accounts, he exercised control over the drug routes leading into Acapulco for several years, transporting 2 tons of cocaine into the United States every month. He was also accountable for a significant portion of the bloodshed that broke out in the region. According to US investigators, in addition to using his own Los Negros hit squad, he also recruited members of other gangs, including MS-13, to eliminate his competitors. After being arrested in the United States in 2010, Valdez Villarreal was eventually extradited to the country and tried for drug trafficking and money laundering there. He was found guilty of both charges. Last week, those in charge of the most important aspects of the Mexican government were confronted with the question of why he's no longer in the possession of the BOP. It's very strange what is going on in the United States with Mr. Villarreal, who is no longer registered among those in custody, and we want to know where he is, said President Andres Manuel Lopez Obrador in a press conference. There is no reason for him to leave prison because he was condemned to many years, unless there was some kind of an agreement. Some experts on the Mexican cartel say that Valdez Villarreal could have made a deal with federal authorities. He could be providing information on high-ranking cartel members, but even if this were the case, I can't see him being released from custody, said Robert Almonte, a security consultant and former deputy chief of the Texas Police Department in El Paso. He's very dangerous, he's killed people, and he's extremely violent and still has these connections to the cartels. A spokesman for the Bureau of Prisons refused to say why Valdez Villarreal was no longer in federal custody. but told the Post that there could be many reasons. Inmates can be temporarily removed from the site if they're undergoing court hearings, medical treatment, or unspecified other reasons. We do not provide specific information on the status of inmates who are not in the custody of the BOP for safety, security, or privacy reasons, the spokesman told the Post. So that's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, remember to leave a like, subscribe, and ring that bell icon so that you never miss our upcoming videos. And don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments section down below. Stay tuned, and we'll catch you in the next video.